Hey everyone, welcome back to the Grim Dawn playthrough. It's been a really long time since I've done any of this. And we finally have an opportunity to do something new because there's new content added to the game in the form of the ethereal roguelike dungeon, the Port of Valbury. So that's what we're going to go do today. I've already picked up the quest to get Thelon's head from Anasteria. So we are going to just go straight for the conflagration, which is where... Ooh, hello. Where the entrance to Valbury is. Now, our meteor druid here has gotten a few changes going on. Compared to where he was in the build video. So I'm assuming that anyone watching this in this playlist will have seen the build video previously and would want to see what the changes were. So in the actual character, there isn't really anything, I think. I had some points in Wendigo Totem and decided to flip them over to Mogdragon's Pact. And I think I pulled points off of Shattered Star to do that as well, just to keep my defenses built up a bit. Devotion is exactly the same. He's got these two as his big capstone devotion abilities. His gearing is what's really different. He still has the progenitor. He has he has 4 pieces to Iskander's set. Shoulders, the shoulder, the offhand, the helmet, the chest piece. But he dropped the amulet because he picked up the Aether Storm set to get the Aether Lightning ability, which just fits with this character so perfectly. So you're going to see me stop and actually cast that. All of his other gear has been switched out to be defensive things. So we have Pretty Great Pants, Touch of the Everliving Grove, Golemborn Greaves, Mark of Divinity, and I think he had the Tinkerer's Ingenuity in the build video. Still has Eye of the Storm. And we have all this because we really needed to get tanky. Because I actually attempted to do Port Valbury with this guy once before, and he made it in the door and died. So, yeah, kind of needed a bit more, survivability. Oops. And I had to kind of relearn this guy a little bit. It's been a while since I played him. Now, the actual Port of Valbury is over here. You have to break apart a detonation site, a demolition site. And it's like these Aether crystals. And actually, the first time I recorded it, we had a glitch where he couldn't walk through the detonation site, even though he did, properly break the area open. Pick up the emerald. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go in. This first area is still conflagration, technically. I'm not gonna bother picking up a lot of the Aether crystals, so you run in this ethereal rift. And now we're in the Port Valbury outskirts. I also want to make one other note. I got a new microphone. So we're gonna be given the new microphone a test, obviously, during this video. So it might be that my audio sounds a little wonky and maybe needs to be changed in the future. But this is going to be the first official new microphone video. Now we actually kind of know the way to go. It's a big old loop-de-loop, and we got to get up here. And you may notice the map is very green. That's because we do have a lot of damage. We do have a lot of damage areas to deal with. Now these are the big problem for me. The Flesh Hulks. I can pretty much handle everything else very easily. And yeah, the tankiness I put back in the character actually has helped a lot, because that was the thing that was really, really killing him, was Flesh Hulks. So he's able to take that one out pretty easily. And we just need to be kind of... Oh, Beholden's here. I only saw Mesmer, and I was like, oh, this is just a Mesmer fight. And it's like, oh, Beholden was right next to him. Now I am going to skip some of the mobs. Like, I don't think I can actually run past Flesh Hulks, so they'll just chase me down for a while. Unless there are multiples of them, then we do kind of want to get away. Because, you know, multiple high hit point, high defense... excuse me. High hit point, high defense monsters that you can't snare. That's what you want to be fighting a lot of. All in all, not too bad. Yep, here comes some damage floor. So the ethereal manticores are also in here, which is pretty cool. I really like the way they look. I wish I could have one as a pet. And then... Oh, it looks like we have to go around. Lots of Deadeyes. There's also a new form of Deadeye that has a fire rifle. Because these Deadeyes, they have Aether rifles. It's the same Deadeyes that have been in the game since, you know, forever. It's just there's now Deadeyes that have fire rifles. I think it's really the only difference they have, too, is just fire rifles. That was some damage we took. And I'm almost certain it was because we were getting hit in the back by a Deadeye or two. Now, something I might consider picking up for future runs of this place is some stun resistance, either on gear or on conversion, because you have to deal with like a lot of Flesh Hulks, and they have stuns, obviously. But you also have to deal with Overminds, who do have a stun as well. So I'm wondering if that might be a good thing just to pick up for safety's sake. No, you didn't see anything. I think the only advantage that this character has against Flesh Hulks, really, is that he has Trojan Sky Shards, and that can, like, triple hit those guys. Now, you do have Ethereal Obelisks and Terraformers to deal with, but they aren't that bad. Like, my Aether Ray guy was able to handle them pretty well. We're just going to have to be a little careful when we get into the roguelike proper. Just so we don't, you know, die. Oh, yeah. These guys can pop up too, but again, it's not as bad. They just have it's either a crap ton of health or a crap ton of, like defensive ability. I don't think I actually needed to go up here. I went in the wrong area. Yeah. You can pretty much just stick to the main path. If you're lucky enough to be an Arcanist, you can Mirror of Rock tease your way through that. Yeah, so you get the call up for Port Valbury proper. And before you get in here, we have an obelisk to fight. A hero obelisk to fight. This is the Herald of Stars. God damn it. Now the ethereal abominations don't actually show up that much in Valbury proper, like in the actual roguelike. So you don't have to worry about them, really. It's only out here where they seem to pop up. Okay. Oh, come on, man. I just want to fight the Herald of Stars. I don't want to have to fight this goddamn bullshit-ass abomination. Now, I don't think there's a tell on which Aether Crystals have these things. I don't think it matters if there is a tell, because you have to take out the Aether Crystal anyways. Because I remember, I think Sino in his stream said, you know, they're sunk into the ground more, but there are Aether Crystals in the game that just look sunk into the ground more. Yeah, so here, the Herald of Stars is the cold version of your heralds, because Herald of Destruction's lightning, Herald of Flame is, you know, fire. So Herald of Stars is the cold version, and it always has Flesh Hulk summoning in. It's always in pairs too, so you have to just be aware of that. They're annoying, as you would expect a pair of Flesh Hulks to be. So you can kite them back here and deal with them, but they're always going to be resummoned, so I would just suggest sort of working around them in whatever your build is, as best you can. Now, if they're summoning up right when this thing switches over to its second mode, they will die. And you'll get a lot of free hits in like the early parts of its second mode, before more Flesh Hulks come in. Now in the case of our Meteor Druid here, I'm pretty much just going to try to keep the Flesh Hulks at length as best I can, while my cooldowns are on cooldown, and then try to really get the Devastations in on the Herald of Stars, because that's it and Trojan Sky Shards are our big damage dealers. Oh, well, just dealing with the Flesh Hulks. You'll get a little bit of time in between their summons to damage them, but for the most part, I just try to damage the thing as much as I can. Because see, they're just right back. And really, if I had more control over my totems, I'd probably just have them not attack the Flesh Hulks. Or I'd try to keep one of them alive just to make this more manageable. But yeah, because we have the Aether Lightning now, we actually have something we can sit here and do while while, like, our things are on cooldown. Because before, like, you'll see it in the playthrough a lot. Like, we just had to run around while we put our cooldowns down. Now it's like, well, we can run around still. But we can also, like, actually sit and do an attack. Excuse me while I take a sip of coffee. You need a skeleton key, obviously, to get in here, because it's a roguelike.